Good. Give me 2 claps. Go 1, 2. Everybody bow. Good. Excellent. Now let's start doing some jumping jacks. Everybody start jumping jacks. Let's go. Come on, start doing jumping jacks. Let's rock and roll. Let's get our bodies warmed up a little bit. Get them warmed up. Get them warmed up. Get them warmed up. You guys look great. So awesome seeing you guys this morning. Well, it's afternoon now. I guess it's afternoon. Good. Come on. Keep going. Keep going. Make sure those arms and legs are moving together. Arms and legs are moving together. Keep moving. And stop. Good job. Everybody spread your feet apart. Let's do some knee bends. Bend those knees down nice and low. Nice and low. Keep the knees bent the whole time. Keep them going. Keep them going. Keep them going. You know what I love seeing? I love seeing the evolving rooms. You guys are making more and more room into your area that you guys are working out. That is really, really, really cool. I like it. Keep bending those knees. Keep bending those knees. Good. And back to jumping jacks. Back to jumping jacks. Good. We're gonna change up the warm up a little bit. We're gonna be adding some new exercises. So make sure you guys stay with me. Stay with me. Keep doing those jumping jacks. Let's go. I don't want to see anybody standing there. Nobody's standing there. Come on, let's go. Come on, jumping jacks. And go back to knee bends. Let's go. Squat down low. Squat down low. Get low in your knee bends. Nice. Listen, you guys did a great job yesterday. Yesterday, we were focusing on timing. We focused on timing yesterday. So we're going to make sure we kind of start implementing all of those different things together. We worked on the fundamentals of being an amazing martial artist and a great black belt. So we're going to make sure we continue on with that trend. And relax. Good job. Everybody start running in place. Go on, keep moving those arms and legs. Move those arms and legs. It's important to move your arms as well. Don't just stand there and move your legs. Move those arms and legs at the same time. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going. There you go. Kaden, I see your smiling face. That's awesome. And relax. Good job. Everybody spread your feet apart. We're going to do a little bit of an abbreviated stretch. Reach down, palms to the floor. Good job, guys. And reach over to one side. And switch to the other side. And up. Good. Bend one knee, one leg. Stay straight as you reach all the way down. Get a good stretch in your leg. And switch to the side. Nice job. And switch. You guys are doing awesome. And switch one last time. And relax. Good job. Put your feet together. Trying to stay off the floor as much as we can. Reach down. Put your fingertips to your toes. Fingertips to your toes. Again, really focus on making sure those knees, they stay locked out straight as you reach all the way down. Fingertips to the floor. Getting a really good stretch. And come back up. Good. Arm circles. Arm circles. I hope you guys are all getting outside and playing today. It's pretty nice outside today. And switch to the side. And good. Bring up across. And switch. Hey guys, little secret. We're going to post a little bit later. Switch again. Tonight at 7 o'clock, we're going to read the Three Ninja Pigs. Tonight at 7 o'clock, we're going to read the Three Ninja Pigs. Switch. It'll be a bedtime story. I'll have my 3 munchkins. We're all going to read it together. And switch one more time. So if you guys, we're going to do it live on Facebook Live in the parents page. So if you guys want to join in, you want to listen to the story, it's a really cool book. Switch. Make sure you guys join us. It'll be a lot of fun. And arms back behind you. Again, keep your back straight. Lift your arms up behind you. Lift them up, lift them up, lift them up, lift them up. Lift them up behind you. And relax. Good job. Everybody give me 10 good push-ups. Go. 10 good push-ups. 10 good ones. 10 good push-ups. Nice. Good job, guys.
Keep those back straight.
You guys are doing great. Doing great today. Doing great. All right. All right, so a real quick review. We've focused on working on the fundamentals. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to start breaking down the information so that way we're learning our rank-specific information, brown belts, red belts, and black belts. Today, I want to do one last recap of all those fundamentals. We're going to talk about twisting. We're going to talk about loading position. We're going to talk about our stances. We're going to talk about our kicks a little bit. And then I also want to talk about the timing. So those are all the things that I want to focus on today. So that way tomorrow when we start working on the information, we are ready to rock and roll and apply it to our forms and our sparring combinations and our techniques. All right, so let's start from the very beginning. Let's talk about our hand techniques. So any of our hand techniques, everything, you've all heard this before, everything and every one of your hand techniques have this. What do you think that they have? Put it in the chat box. What do you think that they have? Every hand technique has this one thing in common. When you load to do your technique, they have this one thing in common. When you load, they're going to have one thing in common. What do you think? Everybody's loading. Okay. Let me get a little more specific with my question. When you are correct, every hand technique is going to have a chamber position. But for example, what about a downward knife hand strike? Is there a load for a downward knife hand strike? Are you using both hands for a downward knife hand strike? Nope, that's a single arm technique. But as Johannes and Elisa said, a turn, a tight fist, it might not have a tight fist. What if I'm doing a chop or a double knife hand block? A turn, or a thing that we like to say is a twist. So every hand technique that you're going to do, the answer, every hand technique is going to have a twist involved with it. Now, whether it be a single arm technique, let's say I'm doing that downward knife hand strike. Notice my palm is facing the other direction. When I bring my hand down, my palm is still facing behind me. I bring it up in front of me, it still faces behind me. But when I do my knife hand strike, my hand is going to twist into the technique. So again, it goes from here and it twists. If I'm doing a high block, my palm is up at my side. It comes up palm to my nose. When it gets to my nose, that's when, again, it's going to twist to turn my palm away. If I'm doing a regular punch, my hand is on my side, my hand's going to come out, and then it starts to twist with my palm down. If I'm doing a double knife hand block, my palms are away. Watch my hands. They're going to twist into position. So you guys understand my point? Every hand technique, everything that you're going to be doing in Taekwondo is going to have a twist. So you want to make sure your loads are going to allow you to twist so that way you can have more power into your techniques. All right, so everybody go back up a little from your screen. Back up from your screen a little bit. Good. Everybody spread your feet apart. Now we're going to move in slow motion. We're moving in slow motion because I really want to break down how this twist is going to happen. So I can't see the screen real quick. I'm going to make sure I'm still in there. Oh, I lost it. All right, so let's make sure I'm in the screen real quick. So make sure my palm is on my side. My palm is up. Whenever I do my twist or my punch, my palm is facing up right now. As it goes out, it's still facing up. About here, right about here, that's when my twist is going to start to happen. Whenever I make contact with my target, my hand is like this. Notice my arm is still bent, but my hand is not perfectly flat. Then I'm going to deliver the technique through the target as I complete the twist. So watch one more time. My palm is up. This is why that twist is so important. I want to make sure my palm is up, then it starts to twist. Boom. I'm making contact with the target. Then I'm going to extend my hand through the target. My hand is still going to continue to twist. Boom, as it gets all the way through my target. So again, that's when you do your punch. We're going to start doing that in slow motion. I want to see us all practice that. Hands are up. I want to see you go nice and slow. Really focus on making sure your hand is up. Then when it gets about halfway out from you, that's when you're going to start to twist. Boom, you make contact, and then extend your hand out. And then pull it back. Follow the twist coming back the same way. Again, it goes out. It starts to twist, hits the contact, and then it goes through the target. Ready? Pull it back. And again, goes out, nice and slow, and then pull it back. Really focus on that twist. Ready? Go out, nice and slow, and then pull it back. So in other words, your twist is not going to start right away. You don't start your twist right away. Your twist is actually going to start about halfway through your hand extending out for your punch. So right about here, I don't start my twist yet. This is incorrect. I don't start my twist here. I'm going to make sure it stays here. Then it starts to twist, makes contact, and then explodes through my target. All right, so let's all try it. Everybody put your hands on your side. Let's all do it together. Everybody put one hand out. Now, again, we're going nice and slow. We're going to make sure both hands are pushing and pulling at the same time. So when one hand comes out, the other hand is pulling back. Everybody show me how you bring one hand out, then start your twist, and then extend your hand out. Good. So I want to see your palms facing each other. When they get about halfway, palms are still facing each other, and then they're going to start to twist, as they extend out through your target. Again, palms face each other. So right about now, my hands are about even with each other. My palms are still facing each other from this position as I continue to extend my hand out and do my punch. So again, go a little bit faster, and you start your twist. A little bit faster, and you start your twist. A little bit faster, you start your twist. A little faster, and then faster. All right, good. So does that make sense? Everybody put your hand up if that makes sense. Good, excellent, excellent, excellent. The same thing is going to happen when you're doing all of your techniques. All of your techniques, your twist is going to happen at the end, almost, well, I shouldn't say the end. It'll happen at the, if you're breaking it down to thirds, it'll start to happen at the beginning of the second third, should be completed because you're hitting your target at the beginning of the third third, and then once you go through the target, your hand continues to twist all the way through. If I were doing my double knife hand block, look at my hands. From here, I'm going to move them, move them, move them. My hands haven't started to twist yet. I'm just pulling my hands across. Now my hands are going to start to twist as I extend out my technique. Does that make sense? Can you guys all see that? Everybody put your hand up if you can see that. Good. So again, my hands stay in position, stay in position, stay in position as long as they can. Right now, my hand, this hand right here, I feel it all in my forearm. Right now, this arm over here, I feel it all in my forearm. I'm going to get to this position, and then my hands are going to start to twist, which is going to help me snap my hands into position. If I were doing a high block, remember we talked about it before. My palm is up on my side. It comes up. Notice my hand hasn't twisted yet. It hasn't twisted yet. It's going to come up to my chin level, and then once it gets about halfway through it, right about here, the second half, that's when my hand's going to twist. So again, you hold that position until about halfway, and then you start to explode through your techniques. Raise your hand if that makes sense. Good. Everybody celebrate with one good push-up. Show me, go. One good push-up. Excellent. Good. Come on back up. Come on back up. Good. All right, so let's talk about timing real quick. Timing. Now, remember, the timing happens when your stance is completed. Boom. So everything ends at the same time. Now, one of the questions was posed before yesterday. Santino, I want to thank you for this question. One of the questions was, when we're doing Kwange, so some of our black belts, or let's say we're doing a tension punch in Yul Guk. Everyone here has done the form Yul Guk in a previous life. We've all done it in the past. It was a previous belt. So in Yul Guk, we start our hand out. We go nice and slow. And then we go nice and slow. And then we do 2 fast punches. Then we slide. Do you guys remember that form? Raise your hand if you remember that form. Remember doing that form. Good. So when does the technique happen? So according to the rule, the technique happening whenever your stance is complete, my punch should happen at the same time as my stance stops. What we're doing is, when you're doing a tension technique or a slow moving technique, like in Kwange when you step forward, I don't start my technique as I'm moving forward. Boom. I'm going to make sure I get my hands in position. As soon as my stance is complete, that's when I initiate the movement. And then I finish. Then I turn it over as I step, boom, and again, I initiate the movement. Now, the next technique, when I go from here, when I slide and do my knife hand block from this position, boom, everything should start and stop at the same time. Boom, everything should end at the same time. Boom, everything should end at the same time. Raise your hand if that makes sense. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, moving on to our kicks. Our kicks, we talked about chambering our kicks. Now, there are 3 different types of kicks that we have. What are the 3 types of kicks that we have? Put them in the chat box. What are the 3 types? Type in all 3 types. What are the 3 types of kicks? All 3. All 3. Excellent. Snap, swing, thrust. Snap, swing, thrust. Snap, swing, thrust. You guys are awesome. Give me one push-up for those answers. That was awesome. One push-up for those answers. Good job. Snap, a thrust, and a swing kick. Snap, a thrust, and a swing kick. So, for example, a snap kick would be a front kick, a round kick, a hook kick, where your knee comes up to a certain point. It stays in one position as your foot extends out and back. So this makes it a snap kick, whether it be a round kick where my foot snaps out and back, or a front kick where my foot snaps out and back. A thrust kick would be a side kick or a push front kick. A side kick, my knee comes up, my knee is going to push my foot to my target. So from the side, it'll be a little easier to see. You'll see my foot pushing to the camera. You see my foot pushing to the camera. A snap kick, my knee stays here, my foot goes around. Do you guys all see that? Raise your hand if you see that. Good. And then a swing kick would be like an axe kick or a spin heel kick. That's where your leg is locked out as straight as an arrow as your foot swings up and down to the target. All right, so again, those are the 3 different types of kicks. A couple of real quick reminders. Make sure on that side kick, the most common mistake that we see with the side kick, there are 2 of them. Raise your hand if you remember us talking about it. Raise your hand if you remember us talking about the 2 most common mistakes whenever we're doing our side kicks. The first mistake that we make is we kind of go from here and our foot snaps to our target. See how my foot is snapping to my target? Even though my foot is sideways, it looks like I'm doing a side kick from the side. From here, this still kind of looks like a side kick. But that's not a side kick, that's a snap kick. You want to make sure that your knee is pushing your foot to your target. That's the first mistake. The second mistake has to do with our knee. Point, where do you think your knee is? Do you think your knee is typically higher or lower than your foot when you're making that mistake? What do you think? Lower. That's right. That's right, Alejandro. That's exactly right. Your knee starts to come down here, and when we go to do our side kick, if I'm in position, I'll bring my foot behind. My knee starts down here, and we kind of do one of these. Ugh. So this is what our kick looks like. Ugh. That's not a good side kick. Your knee can't be lower than your foot. You've got to get your leg even, like a tabletop. See how this looks like a tabletop? You want your leg even like a tabletop, so that way you can kick straight over and straight back into your chest. All right, round kick, making sure your knee is pointing at your target. That is super important. There are 2 mistakes we make with a round kick. One, our knee comes up, and we do what's called a frown kick. Who remembers what a frown kick looks like? You remember that? It kind of looks like a front kick and a round kick together. This is not a good round kick. This, not a good round kick. My knee is pointed, my shoulder is pointed, my toes are pointed. But that's not a good round kick because my foot's coming up at an angle. You want to make sure your leg is flat. Leg flat. My knee points at my target. My foot comes around to my target. So from the side, my knee comes up. Again, my leg is flat, not pointed down. It's flat as it extends to my target and pulls back. All right, so that's the first 2 mistakes that we make with a round kick. And then a swing kick, probably the biggest mistake is we don't keep that leg locked out straight. We kind of bend our knee as we try to kick a little bit higher. All right, raise your hand if you're going to work on those 3 kicks. I dig it. Awesome. The last thing, our stances. Our stances. Now, when you're doing your form, we have to know these answers. So get your chat ready. A front stance, a back stance, a middle stance, a closed stance. Those are the most common stances that you have almost in every single form. I'll say it again. A front stance, a back stance, a middle stance, and a closed stance. Those 4 stances are your most common stances that you'll have in your forms moving forward. You want to make sure those are executed right. All right, so everybody look at me on the screen. I'm going to show you from the front, and I'm going to show you from the side. Let me know if this is a good front stance. I see a lot of no's. Okay. All right, now, why is this not a good stance? I'm going to tell you, don't answer. The reason this is not a good stance is because my front knee is not bent long enough, bent enough. And when I bend my front knee from this position, it is slightly bent. You can see that my knee is slightly bent, but it's not bent enough. This is what we see a lot of times. We want to make sure our stances, we're going for black belt excellence. We're looking for black belt stances. So a black belt stance doesn't have your knee bent like this. A black belt stance has our knee bent like this. Now, all I did was go from that position. If my stance is long enough, I just bent my front knee enough so that way I look down, I cannot see my toes. So from the front, this is what it looks like. This is what it was. This is what it'll end up looking like. All right, so again, having that front knee bent enough, your front stance. Now, I want you to remember this because I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, but not quite as in depth. A front stance, how wide is a front stance? Is 1 shoulder wide. A front stance is 1 shoulder wide. So when I step forward in my front stance, I want to make sure my stance stays as wide as my shoulders. My front stance is 2 shoulders long. So if I step forward into my front stance, I want to make sure my stance is 2 of my shoulders long. Again, my front knee is bent where I can't see my toes. Now, obviously in a front stance, we know our front knee is bent, but your back leg has to be locked out straight. Everybody go back to your camera a little bit. Back up from your camera a little bit because I want to be able to see your stances. Back up a little bit, back a little bit. Back as far as you can. Good. Everybody put your hands on your hips. Good. I want to see everybody step forward into your best front stance. Let me see. Show me your best front stance. Oh, that's pretty good. Pretty good. I dig it. I dig it. Good. All right. Now I'm going to give you guys one tip. One tip from what I see. I see a lot of you guys with your front knee bent, back leg locked out straight. Our front knee is bent enough, but our shoulders play a really big role with that. When you step forward, don't have your shoulders to the side. We don't step forward into our front stance like this and do our low block. See, my shoulders are turned to the side. My hand is down low. Other hand's tight this on my side. You want to make sure everything turns to the front. So my shoulders will be square to my target as I do my low block. When I step forward to the front, look, from the side, you'll be able to see it easier. You shouldn't see my chest. I'm going to keep it facing forward as I do my low block. See how you can't see my chest? So again, my front knee is bent, back leg is locked out straight, shoulders are facing forward. Everybody go back. Good. And show me again with the other foot. Step forward with the other foot. And go back. All right. All right. Good. Excellent. A back stance. How long is a back stance? A back stance is 1.5 of your shoulders long. 1.5 of your shoulders long. All right. Now, again, from here, I want to make sure my back knee is bent. My front knee is going to be slightly bent, but more of my weight is going to be on my back leg. So in a back stance, more of my weight is on my back leg. Now, here's a common mistake I see when we do our back stances. We end up doing one of these. Now, do you see how my shoulders are leaning back? Or we do this. See how my shoulders are facing forward? We want to keep our body up and down. All I do is I go from this position. I just want to shift my weight back onto my back leg. Good. All right. Now, a back stance is no width, has 0 width. So if my feet are in a straight line, one foot is directly in front of my back foot. So if I were to pull my front foot back, my heels should touch. Shoulders are turned to the side. So again, from the side, more weight to my back leg. My foot's turned sideways. My front foot's facing where? Where does my front foot face? We tell you this all the time. It's like a recorder. Where does your front foot face? Tell me where your front foot faces.